One of the myths about British people in Europe is that they like to live in places like Portugal so they can get a round of golf in before moving on to gin by lunchtime. But very many more move to places like this for work. We brought this group together. They all have different questions they cannot get answers to.
For me and many other people across the EU, it's the same concern about healthcare. Will that continue?
Obviously, we get a lot of people wanting to move between countries, and with this whole Brexit thing looming and not knowing whether I'm going to be able to take people's goods between countries, I'm having to turn away a lot of work already.
My business is running rental apartments, and my concern is that we will lose a large chunk of the 40% of our market, which is currently Brits.
From a Brexit and residency and how people are going to be able to come across here, and obviously the value of the pound and what's going to happen there is all speculation, so we're not really sure, no more than anybody else, on what's going to happen.
More than 20% of all people who fly to Portugal are British. Such is the love affair with the place. So it's hardly surprising the Portuguese government has raised the possibility of special lanes at passport control for British tourists, so they continue to come. After all, it would be a massive dent to the economy if the golf courses were half empty. Like other European countries, Portugal is trying to ensure the rights of British citizens who want to live in their country as well as simply visiting. But that only works if Portuguese citizens in Britain have the same rights, and that is still not guaranteed.
We decide that we are going to give all these rights to the UK citizens resident in Portugal in the expectation that there will be reciprocity. So all the contingency measures that are being taken at the EU level are unilateral measures. They are temporary measures, and we hope this will be sorted out soon.
When?
I wish I would have a real answer for that.
British consular officials in Portugal are accused of being vague in their advice to UK citizens living here. Nobody was made available to speak to us, but you can reasonably suggest it's hardly their fault. The repeated complaint from British people who live and work in continental Europe is that the British government is making it their responsibility to find out what their rights should be after the UK leaves the European Union. There's just 3 weeks to go now until that's supposed to happen. As with so many other things, it all smacks of complete uncertainty. Laurence, Aljazeera in Lisbon.